Hi everyone, and welcome to today's e-lecture on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So what is the purpose of this e-lecture? Firstly, it is to introduce the 5 needs of Maslow's hierarchy, allow learners to realize that it is important to realize that each person is motivated by needs, and thirdly, to help learners understand how people are affected by the environment. So what is the objective of this e-lecture? So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to firstly list the 5 needs that make up Maslow's hierarchy. Secondly, explain the 5 needs. And thirdly, formulate an activity that incorporates each of the 5 needs to real life experiences and situations. I will talk more about the activity towards the end of this e-lecture. So let's start with these 2 questions. What is motivation? And what exactly motivates you? Take a moment to consider these questions. Is it money that motivates you? Friends? Family? Being accepted by peers? What else? So, what exactly are needs? Needs are a lack of something required or desired, and also needs motivate us to act. So, Maslow defined a hierarchy of human needs that stated that the lower needs must be met before an individual can strive to meet higher needs. So this triangle shows Maslow's 5 different needs, and physiological is right at the bottom and self-actualization right on top. I will go through each and every one of them specifically. So let's start with the lowest, physiological. So this is necessary for life, and if unmet, these needs lead to death. So some examples are food, water, oxygen, sleep, and these are very important things that we need to survive. It's very basic, but we need them. Number 5, protection from extreme temperatures. 6, elimination. 7, sensory needs, mental stimulation like hearing, seeing, feeling, or tasting. And lastly, motor needs. If muscles are not stimulated, they will atrophy. So an example would be food. So in 1970, a plane carrying a South American rugby team crashed. And food was obviously the most pressing problem. And to survive, they ate human flesh. So even the strongest taboo was broken to fill the basic need for food. So the second need is safety. So humans feel that they need to be free from anxiety and fear, the need to be secure in an environment, and the need for order and routine. And in examples are the need to be safe from a physical attack, an emotional attack, a fatal disease, or even from invasion or from extreme loss, like a job or a family member or your home or even friends. So an example of safety would be when frightened, our thoughts and energies are diverted. So threat of or actual attack creates fight or flight reaction, and threats to safety can be physical or emotional. The third need is love and belonging. So firstly, social acceptance, friendship, to be loved. Secondly, the need to belong, to relate to others. And thirdly, sexuality. So situations which would help to satisfy the need for love and belonging would include the following examples: friendship, engaging in social activities with others, active participation in classes or committees, romantic and familial attachments, working in a cooperative learning groups, or working cooperatively with others on a project. So the fourth need is esteem. So esteem is feeling important and worthwhile, and this includes respect, approval, and appreciation. So firstly, respect from others through engagement in activities that bring achievement, success, and recognition, like awards, your status, or even honors. Secondly, respect for self through mastery, achievement, and competence. So, growth of self confidence, which directs our actions towards becoming what we want to be. And we've reached the final need, self actualization. So, the growth of self actualization refers to the need for personal growth and discovery that is present throughout a person's life. So, for Maslow, a person is always becoming and never remains static in these terms. In self actualization, a person comes to find a meaning to life that is important to them. So you become confident and you're eager to express your beliefs with a willingness to reach out to others to help them in obtaining your full potential. Now that we have gone through and looked at all the 5 different needs, let's implement it and see how it impacts teachers. So a teacher should use her knowledge of the hierarchy to structure both the lesson plan and the classroom environment. Being aware of Maslow's hierarchy is in the best interest of both the teacher and the student. Ideally, the classroom would meet as many of the needs of students as possible. Safety needs, belonging needs, and esteem needs should be met. This, of course, assumes the physiological needs of the student have been met beforehand. However, if the psychological needs have not been met, then the teacher has a basis to understand that the student would not be able to focus on learning. A teacher would then be aware of the necessity to make arrangements to help that student in whatever way is needed. So, as a teacher, it is vital to know what these needs are and how to go about meeting them. Students are happiest and will work best if their needs are being met. Okay, now it's your turn to do an activity. So I would like you to formulate an activity that gives us a real life situation and jot down which motive is taking precedence and which is being sacrificed. So this should be written down on a forum post, which I'll open up soon. So what is the purpose of this activity? It would help you understand how Maslow's ideas apply to life experiences. I'll show you an example of how to do this whole activity on the next slide. So an example would be, a very wealthy talented writer gives up writing because he hasn't been able to get his last 4 novels published. So what is the need taking precedence here? It would be his esteem. Why? Because he's embarrassed about being rejected. And what is the need being sacrificed here? Self-actualization. He is giving up his chance to be the most he can be, living up to his potential. So this is an example, and I would like you to formulate an activity which is something like this example. Don't forget to be creative. Be creative and push the boundaries to your activity. We have finally come to the end of our ELecture. So let's do a little recap and summarize what we have learned so far. So we have identified human needs according to Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. We have recognized that all human beings, you and me, we have basic needs. So now that we have gone through and looked at all the 5 different needs, has your answer to the question I asked you at the start of the ELecture changed? What motivates you? Has your answer changed now? Think about it. And also think about this next question. What level of Maslow's hierarchy of need do you believe you are in? Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions about this ELecture or even about the activity, please feel free to post in the forum. Thank you.